What it is, guys, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at y'all with more Dokkan Battle. Now, today we are going to talk, very briefly, I will admit, about the World Tournament and the World Tournament team building aspect. Now, when it comes to team building for the World Tournament, there really isn't that much to it. The long and the short of it, honestly, is very simply put, you want some units that have amazing tanking, really good tanking, which means that guy actually needs to come off here, and you want units that are going to be able to do a lot of damage, if not full team damage. Case in point, my Broly's, and this dude, everybody's been completely impressed with the damage he produces every time we do a video on this. Simply because this guy is a nuker. Not only is he an AoE, and an orb changer, he also nukes. So in other words, what I mean by that, if you're not familiar with the term, for every orb that I give him, or every strength orb that I give him very specifically, though he does change other orbs to strength orbs, he is going to produce more damage. He can actually out-damage anybody else on this team, including this guy. You know he can produce a ton of damage. Now, yes, you want AoEs and you want the maximum amount of damage. That's also why this guy is on here. Because this guy can pull off, now that I've rainbowed, he can pull off four super attacks some of the time. 3 fairly regularly, and that's because remember, whenever you have a unit that does that you give multiple attack, or that already gets multiple attacks, every time they do that attack, they're rolling for whatever their effect is. So in other words, to go into like D&D terms, basically they do their first attack, boom, roll. Okay, failed that roll. You know, you're shooting for whatever, 8 or above. You roll a d10, boom, 6. Attacks again, and this guy gets up to 3 native attacks. Boom, roll again. Attack again, boom, roll again. So your odds of getting whatever his effect are really good. Be that crit, be that dodge, or be that multi-attack. Now, I've given mine multi-attack and quite a bit of dodge, only because every single time he hits, he's going to do more and more and more of that. Same with this guy. Now, Broly gets 2 attacks no matter when he's doing his thing. So giving him multi-attack really has worked out phenomenally. Though I do have a lot of crit in him, and I don't regret that because when he does crit, I love life. But this guy is still, you'll see he's my friend unit, still the World Tournament hero. Strangely as that is. This card, since day one, I don't care what anybody tells you, has not been usurped as the top World Tournament card. Why do I say that? Well, very simply put, if you have a dupe in him, you could pretty much bet that every time he hits, he's going to hit in the millions with a good leader. Case in point, the physical Broly is like the best leader for the focus you, Fac. Best leader for the tournament. He leads him with a ton, I mean a ton of both attack and HP. Now, as we know, defense, you can count him out of defense. 100% count him out of defense. Now, the one big caveat to the World Tournament is that your friend unit will not affect you. That's one thing that I keep seeing people, first couple of tournaments I completely forgot. I keep seeing people make this mistake of, oh, I'll share my physical Broly, or I'll share this, or I'll share that. If you have Strength Broly, share Strength Broly. Get your Strength Broly friend. He's the best unit you can absolutely do at any given time in the tournament, just because of his damage output and because of what he's capable of. So, the long and the short of it is, you want teams with him. Now, there's 2 really big main teams that you can run. That is, of course, like I'm running here, the Full Power / Movie Bosses team, or the Pure Saiyans team. Both of those teams are really, really, really good. The only reason I run this team is because I can then run him. If you don't have this guy, or you're maybe more free to play or whatever, if you run the Pure Saiyans team, there's plenty of leads for that nowadays, you can actually run the free-to-play Int Raditz. Now, he's not the greatest producer of damage in the world, but I've run many a tournament at 30 times with him very effectively. It's a little item-heavy, but to be fair, my team's item-heavy too. The key with that is you just want to make sure you're never hit. Don't be bashful about dropping items. I drop items, I mean, all the time in the tournament. All the time in the tournament. So, for me, when it comes to the actual tournament itself, I'm just going to go ahead and just click this here so it doesn't change. For me, when it comes to the tournament itself, I'm not going to worry about dropping items because I've been stockpiling items, and you should be running the Bulma event so you can continue to do that. Stockpiling items from the Baba Shop since basically the previous tournament, and therefore, and so on and so forth. I will come back today when we hit 30 times, and I will definitely do a full tournament video, and we'll talk about damage and all that kind of stuff. But for the sake of team building, the two prime teams you could build: Pure Saiyans or movie bosses. This is kind of like the optimum team. Now, the big thing you want to bear in mind, you want as many LRs on your team as you can. Hence why I kind of have that guy there, though he is really not the best by a long shot. LRs give you basically get points for the rarity level of your units. Now, that is to say, if you're on a full LR team, you can get tons of points. But you also want a team that's fast. You guys have seen me on the last day of the World Tournament grind, and I can grind out 30 times within 6 to 8 minutes with this team. No sweat. That's a full run. That's start, prelims, to the end of finals. That's a fast run. I would go so far as to say 10 minutes is a fast run. I can do this in almost half that. Not quite, but almost. On a good run when I'm not farting around and, frankly, when things work out in my favor. But yes, this team is very, very capable of that. Speed is a big factor, but you want accuracy. So if you can't create a killer team, if you can, like this, or Pure Saiyans or whatever, then definitely don't push yourself to 30 times. Every time you lose, you are losing points. Your accuracy and basically just your ability to hold a win streak is going to help you drastically. Every time you win, those points start to compound, and you'll see that your points go up to like 1.5 times at some point. And so every time you're winning, you're getting an extra 50% on top of that. So if you're playing 30 times, you're losing every other run. You're really kind of, more or less hurting yourself. Run 20 times. Don't worry about making, top whatever. Just go and get your rewards. Get whatever you're going to get and get out, Get up to your 30 million. Run, because now we get daily rewards for running it every day. It's kind of silly not to, if I'm honest. Kind of silly not to. So that's kind of the World Tournament. Now, when it comes to team building, as I said, you want LRs, you want AoEs. If you can't do that, get creative. I've run teams that use AGL Super Vegito. Man, when Global gets his EZA, he's going to be a monster. He's already going to be a monster on JP when that drops here shortly. He's really, really good, except when he gets supered, but nobody's good when they get supered, so I wouldn't worry about that caveat. I would definitely say he's a good one. Even the Vegito Blues, physical Vegito Blue, and anyone but Tech. The strength one, but I'm basically talking about units that basically will tank and then do the retaliation. Strength Vegeta is another good one of those. The Strength Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta Bulma unit that I'm talking about. Any unit that will kind of like do a ton of retaliation. Basically, tank a hit and then do retaliation. That's the kind of unit you want. You also do want tanks. So like the tanking Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, your AGL and your Tech Golden Friezas, those types of units, they're very good for the tournament. Because if you do accidentally take a super attack, they're going to diminish that damage extremely well. The other one that I see people constantly forget about is the Strength Jace. Strength Jace, the free-to-play one from the Ginyu Force events every day. He will actually tell you if somebody's getting ready to super attack. Now, I haven't run him in a very, very, very long time. Another very, very, very good unit. Of course, I have to talk about the Tournament Jocko and the Tournament. I'll pull him up here. I get yelled at every single time for not talking about these units. I am simply not a fan of these units, if I am entirely honest. But I will talk about them. All right, let me go find them real quick, because I do not keep them on hand. I'm sure I'm passing them. Oh, oof, where did they go? I don't think they're SSR level. There he is. He is SSR level. Okay. So I've awakened mine. This Chaozu. This Chaozu and the Jocko as well. That I believe is the Tech Jocko. Where it says may stun all enemies, that is actually kind of a misnomer. He will actually, the first time he and Jocko, let me see if we can find Jocko real quick. Was that him up there? There he is. May stun all enemies. The very, very first time those two come up on basically up to bat, they will stun everybody on the team. Those two are extremely popular tournament units. I don't like them. I personally don't like them. They slow down my run. But I get yelled at every single time for not putting it out there on the table. They're very, very, very easy to obtain. And they're a really easy way to get through the tournament if you are lacking a few of these units. For me, they're kind of like a point drag. They're a time drag. They really take up a lot of time for me. For me, I'd just rather drop, I don't know, Ghost Usher or a couple of Yamas and then be done with it. You know, I don't have to worry about them attacking. It just does what it does. But that's my 2 cents of the matter. It's entirely up to you guys what you want to do. But the key is, if you can't produce, if you don't have a lot of AoEs, if you don't have these really top tier teams, really get creative and start thinking about like those retaliation units. Yes, you're going to get hit, but you're going to tank it and you're going to hit back. Those stun units, sure. First time they come up, boom, whole team stunned. You can do whatever you want to do in that turn. This guy's free to play. This guy is super free to play and super fun, and he works on a ton of teams. Heavily recommend him. He's general pool. He's easy to pull. If you don't have him, blow your tickets. Blow your World Tournament tickets and see if you can get them. Really, really, really easy to come by. There's a few others out there that are extraordinarily easy to come by that do these types of things, but that's just kind of where your brain needs to be in regards to this. So, honestly, that's kind of going to be the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I just lost my trackball, as you heard, so I got to go reassemble that for the 4th time tonight. That is going to be my video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm going to go reassemble my trackball and see you in the tournament. Good luck.